Would it be possible for me to pull together a list of all of the contacts that opened an email last week? Or better yet, what if I wanted to get a list of all of the contacts in my PhoneBurner account that started watching a video that I had sent to them in one of those emails last week? Well, with PhoneBurner's advanced search functionality, you can definitely do that. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about contact activity searching as we continue working our way through the advanced search training module. So in the advanced search menu, when I click on that, you'll see all of the different options or sections that we can search in. This video is going to be talking about the contact activity options. So if we click on that, you'll see that there's a menu here where you can see a list of all of the activities that are searchable at this time. Right now, you can search for contacts based off of whether or not they actually picked up one of the SmartSender resources that you sent them. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, you also have the ability to search for contacts on whether or not they started a movie, finished a movie, or opened an email. Now, additional contact activity searching options include things that you did to them, like you called a prospect. I might want to create a list of contacts that I called last week. Whoa, wait a second. Some of you might be sitting there going, well, we already talked about finding contacts based off of when they were last called in the dial session section. So let's take a look at the dial session section. Let's talk about the difference between the dial session search and the contact activity search. In this particular section, we're looking for contacts based off of the last time they were called, or potentially the first time they were called. In the contact activity searching option, we're not looking based off of when they were last called. We're looking for contacts that were actually called before, after, during a specific date range. So they may have been called again. So if you want to find all of the contacts that you called last week, this is where you'd go to do that. Additionally, you can search for contacts that you scheduled an appointment with. Now, this is not to say that you're looking for everybody who has an appointment this week or during that time frame. This is when the appointment was actually scheduled. For example, you might call contacts this week and schedule an appointment with them for next week. And in this particular search, the date that the appointment was scheduled is this week. So how many contacts did you call during whatever date range that you're looking for, before or after any specific date range? Did you book an appointment with them? Has nothing to do with when the appointment is actually going to take place. Then of course you can search for contacts based off of whether or not you emailed them. All of these come into play when you're trying to build out lists of contacts that you might want to reach out to again. So once you've made a decision, so let's say for example, I want to get a list of all of the contacts in my account that started a movie, meaning they started watching one of the videos that I've uploaded and sent to them via SmartSender. The next thing I need to decide is, are we looking for somebody who did it or didn't do it, right? So yes or no. Did they start watching a movie or did they not start watching a movie, right? And then the final thing is choosing a date. Now, when choosing a date, it can be a range. In most cases, you're probably going to be selecting a date range. But there's lots of options here, right? You can choose whether or not you're searching for somebody who did something on a specific day, before or after a specific date, today and before, today and after. Now, today and after is going to be a tough one because we don't know who's going to watch the video in the future, right? So realistically, this is just today. And then you've got days ago exact, before X days ago, and after X days ago. And then finally between. So for my example that I was talking about earlier, if I wanted to find all of the contacts that watched a video or started watching a video between, last week, I would choose the date range that I care about, and then once I've made that selection, click apply, and then hit search. Now, of course, this is a demo account with demo data. In most cases, I'm not going to have contacts that meet all of the search criteria that I might want to test. So let's come in here and let's reset this. And let's just look for anybody who even started watching a movie. No date range, and click search. And here we go. I have Rachel Sample. Let's go ahead and click on the advanced search menu again, and you'll notice that you actually have the option to add additional activities. So let's say, for example, let's change this to anybody who was emailed. So anybody I emailed, doesn't matter when. Again, I'm going to avoid date ranges in my specific demo because of the data that I have in here. So I want everybody who is emailed ever, and I want to find anyone who actually was emailed and I scheduled an appointment with them. And let's go ahead and hit search. So I've got 22 contacts that I emailed and scheduled an appointment with them. Again, I'm not worried about any specific date range. You would probably want to include some sort of date range when you're trying to filter this list down. So keep in mind, these are all and. So I'm doing this and this, so they have to qualify for both of those. So if I were to remove this one and hit search, this is everybody I've ever sent an email to, 432 contacts. If I go back to the advanced search and I switch this from email the prospect to scheduled an appointment with the prospect and hit search, I've got 25. So out of the 25 people I've ever scheduled an appointment with, 22 of them I've also emailed. So anyway, that is a quick little overview of the contact activity section of the advanced search. This is just one more option that you can take advantage of to help you identify the exact contacts that you want to look at and potentially dial using PhoneBurner. I hope this helps you and your organization get more done using the power of PhoneBurner. Thanks again, and happy dialing.